All right, everyone, and welcome back into the cave. It is a Thursday evening, 6:30 on the West Coast, 9:30 on the East Coast. If you are joining me live, thank you for jumping in and chatting tonight. We've got an exciting one coming up here on the episode. Our Montreal Expos will be hopefully taking flight on their way into the playoffs. And we are here in the 2003 season number, I don't know, six overall, as we try to resurrect the Montreal Expos and bring them to life, getting them to a World Series before they would have moved. So we're about 3 years shy of that, and hopefully we can get that done here in the 2003 season. If you have watched the show in the past, you know we started in 1998 with quite possibly one of the worst rosters we could have possibly started with. Didn't have a whole lot of great players at the time, but managed to build up and get to a point where we could make back-to-back appearances in the playoffs. So here we are with the team in 2003. In just a few minutes, we'll go ahead and take a look at the roster. We'll take a quick glance at who we're going to be playing this evening, and we'll try to get through the month of July and quite possibly through August quickly. So by the end of tonight's episode, we hope to know where we stand in the playoff hunt and whether or not this team is going to get us into the 2003 World Series or playoffs. Good evening. Welcome on into the show. You're my first viewer. So our topic of the evening. I think what we're going to probably do is throw out some random numbers and see how many players from any sport that we can think of that may have worn that number. Kind of got the idea at work recently, measuring some things, and you come up with a number, and we kind of rattle off a player, and that's kind of how we know what's going on. So, or who we're talking about, right? So maybe we'll say John Elway, and bada bing, bada boom. It's like, okay, 7, right? 7 on there. But there's some that get tricky, right? You could talk sixes. We had 6 yesterday, and that went as far as, I think we started with LeBron, and it turned into Dr. J, and then Bill Russell, and mostly basketball. But we'll kind of throw a random number out there and see what we can get. Of course, we do talk sports, so anything you want to talk about sports related, feel free to go ahead and put that up on the board as well tonight. Coming off a pretty busy couple of days, spent some time in the beautiful California desert in some very warm temperatures. So very happy to be back in the nice, cool Southern California 90s. It's great. It is definitely great to be back and a little cooled down. So once again, if you're new to the show, this is Exponation, where we are trying to revive, resuscitate, and resurrect the Montreal Expos. Mickey Mantle was number 6 before he wore 7. Come on, do I gotta Google that? Anyway, yeah, so we're trying to bring these Expos back to life. So the idea is if we get to 2000, and I believe it was 6 or 7 when they moved, and we have a World Series, that tells me that we've revitalized. Maybe the team has some money, and maybe they decide to stay in Montreal rather than moving along to Washington, which all in all wasn't the worst move for them. They ended up winning a World Series in Washington. But I would love to have the Expos back. Definitely love to have the Expos back. And I'm not even an Expos fan. I am a Yankee fan through and through. But to have Montreal back would definitely be cool. It would be cool. The other thing, of course, the other topic on the table, we have got, there's all this talk recently about possible labor stoppages and whatever they want to call it in baseball, and how it's going to change things. So I'm not a big fan of that. Obviously, I got to live through the '94 strike, and don't really want to see something like that happen again because the game started to kind of take off again. People are getting interested. They've done so many things to change it and get people back into it, and now it could all go away again. So uh, the other couple of talkative items we have a couple of hot new games coming out next week. NBA 2K27 will come out. Really cool piece to that. They're going to have uh, my player eras, which is really cool because you'll be able to start your player in the era you choose. So if you want to start your player in 1983 or 84 and play with more of the players I may know based on my age, it's something I can do. Or if you'd like to start your player in, let's say, the Kobe era, you can do that as well. That's going to be cool. And of course, my NHL 27 will be out next week. And I am hyped up right now because we are only weeks away from puck drop for NHL preseason, which means we'll be watching some Islanders and talking about some Islanders right here on the channel. And I'm really thinking about taking my NHL 27 and actually just having my own Islanders show where I just play as the Islanders because I am the fanatic, right? So instead of playing as the Whalers, maybe we just play as the Islanders, follow their actual team that they have now, and see if we can't get them a cup. That would be awesome. Since we have been unable to do so with the Hartford Whalers. So now that I have chatted and gone on and on, I think it's at what we have going on in Expo Nation. So right here on the show, as you can see right below our logo there on the right side, actually we'll take a click over here. We currently sit 2.5 games behind the Montreal. I'm sorry, we are the Montreal Expos. I'm a little tired, a little sunbaked, so just, bear with me. But we are currently about 2.5 games behind the Florida Marlins, who, again, just continue to just boggle my mind. But the main thing to remember is this is 2003. And those same Florida Marlins ended up in the World Series against the Yankees. So it's not really a shocker that we've taken this roster that started in 98 all the way to 2003. And the Marlins have progressed into a very, very solid team. We are 2.5 games back. The Atlanta Braves are 3.5 games back. And never count out the Braves in our world because, well, they have a habit of just owning the division and coming back usually around this time of the season. So we'll see what happens with the Braves in our division. The Phillies are 11 games back, and Mets are toast. They're out. They're 12.5 games back. I said that in the 2002 season, right after the All-Star break. And who did we end up? Lucky for us, we beat them to go to the NLCS, but they still made it, even after I talked a whole bunch of shit about them. So, yeah. That's where we are. We will be, let's go to the calendar here. We'll be taking on the San Diego Padres. So the San Diego Padres for 3 games right out of the All-Star break. So you can see heading into the All-Star break, that last week, we'll go off of our last 5 games because it sounds more positive, right? We went 4-1. So we took down St. Louis and Houston in basically 4 games. We did have that one unfortunate loss to Houston. We had the home run derby last week. We got to see, I don't even remember who it was. Oh, Andrew Jones in the home run derby. We had the All-Star game, and here we are. So we're in San Diego. We're in Montreal. Again, I apologize. A little sunbaked, a little tired. But here he is. The fanatic is doing the show. So we have got San Diego for 3. Then Cincinnati comes to town. Now, Cincinnati is a team that, well, they dominated for the first couple seasons. They have fallen off significantly in our world here since really kind of dominating the league. And then Minnesota for 3. That's in Minnesota. So we might even jump into a game there because I'd love to see us play at the old Homer Dome. And then Milwaukee on the road. And if we can get all the way to the Yankees series here at the end of the month of August, we will. But we'll have Houston for 3 again, then the A's for 3 at home. We go back on the road, flying to San Francisco to take on the team that knocked us out of the playoffs, the San Francisco Giants. Then Kansas City for 3. And here we go, Philadelphia for 4, the Mets for 3, Philly again for 3, and then right here, we'll end the episode with the New York Yankees, who actually are finally kind of climbing out of that hole. So after losing Derek Jeter to us last year, they've started to kind of get a little bit better. I mean, they're just above 500 heading into the episode, but they are kind of up and coming. They're getting there. So let's go ahead and take a look at the current standings around the league. We already talked about the National League East. The Marlins sit 2.5 games ahead of our Spos. In the Central, the Cubbies, who at one point had a 10-game lead, that lead has narrowed. The Pirates and the Cardinals have kind of tightened the race. They are just 2 games behind the Cubbies. That's going to be a battle in the National League Central. Of course, the 2003 Cubbies lost to the Marlins. I believe that was the Bartman series. Talked about that on a couple episodes ago. The National League West, now that's a tight race between the Giants and the Rockies. The Giants at 48 and 49, you're reading that correctly. They have a losing record, but they have a half-game lead over the Colorado Rockies. I don't think the record really matters for the Giants because it didn't matter last year as they knocked us out of the playoffs and went to the World Series. The wild card, that's us. We've got the current wild card lead with our 54 and 43 record. The Braves are right behind us. Then the Pirates and the Cardinals, with the Astros still in the hunt, who we will see in tonight's episode. The American League East looks a lot like this. The Blue Jays have a half-game lead over the Red Sox and a 1-game lead over the Tampa Bay Rays. So lots of movement that can happen there in the American League East, and don't count out the Yankees. Even at 49 and 47, they could possibly make a playoff run. Now, here's the one thing I notice about them. If you kind of look over to your left under the last 10 column, they are 1-9. They're 1-9. So who's to say if they're going to be able to put together some sort of a run? Plus, they don't score a lot of runs. At the break, they've only scored 378 runs, and they've allowed 382. So in the American League Central, it's the Cleveland Indians with a half-game lead over the White Sox, and, of course, a 2.5-game lead over the Royals. So another tight race. The only team that's basically bowing out at this point is the Minnesota Twins, 14.5 games back. The hottest team heading into the All-Star break was the Royals. They were 8-2 in their last 10. The American League West is highlighted by the powerhouse Milwaukee Brewers, who have a 12-game, very commanding lead over the Oakland Athletics. That's right, they are the Oakland Athletics. Good evening, young junior GM. I saw that you were here, and I almost just dialed in to play a little bit, but I'm going to do my show here, and then I'll probably play a little basketball afterward. So we are looking at the Brewers, who are 12 games ahead of the Oakland A's, 13 ahead of the Mariners. So I think the West could be locked up, but I don't really want to say that. And then taking a look at the wild card, we got the White Sox, we got the Red Sox, the Rays, the Royals, and of course those Yankees kind of hanging around down there at the bottom of the wild card. So the American League could go really in any direction, with the exception of the West. So I think what we'll do is we'll take a look at it maybe at the end of every week to see who's doing what and try to keep an eye on those races as we go. So, okay, what we want to do tonight is we're going to obviously want to see some games, but we also always take a look at our current roster. Now, the other thing that's coming up in the episode is the trade deadline. That's where my junior GM, my assistant GM really come into play, because what are we going to do? And most of the time they end up deciding for me, and I thank them for that. So we have got, this is kind of a look at our current roster. So Andy Pettit spearheads our starting rotation. He's 10-5 this year with a 2.44 ERA. Javi Vasquez is 7-5. Tim Wakefield, he's having a great season, and he's actually possibly, is he in a contract year? No, he's got 2 seasons left with the Spos. He's 9-3 with a 3.36. Just a workhorse, getting his shit done. Trey Moore, here's a struggle. Here is a struggle. Trey Moore, who we used to put a lot of our eggs in the old Trey Moore basket. He's 2-6 on the season, 5.20 ERA with a 1.43 WHIP. So the stats aren't looking good for him, and that win-loss record is definitely not looking good for him. And CC Sabathia, 1-4 on the season with that 4.93 ERA. I give CC a little bit of breathing room because he's a rookie, okay? He's also a 60 overall with A potential. So he's growing, and he's only going to get better, but I don't know if we want to keep him in that 5th spot in the rotation when I'm looking at Juan Acosta down in AAA, who's 7-5 with a 2.28 ERA, and Booker House, he doesn't have the win-loss record, but he has a decent ERA, as does Satchel Derma, who we got in that trade with the Padres. So there's a lot of options for us in that 4-5 spot in the rotation, and moving a guy like Trey or CC to the bullpen probably wouldn't hurt us, okay? Probably wouldn't hurt us. But or we make a trade to bring in a starting pitcher, and we've got a couple of pieces that we can move. So that's what we're going to get to at the trade deadline. We'll talk about that as we go. Relief pitching, we've got Matt Manti, Alan Embry, Ricardo Rincon, who made a huge boo-boo in the last episode when he blew like a 6-run freaking lead, and we lost. Scott Shields, who, as I say, every episode we picked up in that Rule 5 draft, and he's been very good for the Spos with that 7-1 record coming out of the pen and a 3.73 ERA. And just look at that strikeout to walk. All right, 48 strikeouts to only 19 walks. That's a pretty good number. And then Ramon Marrero, he was brought up from the minors, I believe, last episode. So hopefully he'll get a couple of appearances here when we quick sim. Closing pitchers, we've got Billy Wagner, and of course we have Eric Gagne, who has been doing a good job really coming in those mop-up roles, and when we need to get a good hold in the 7th or 8th inning. And Alfonso Rivera, he's down in the minors. That's another face to watch in Triple-A. He's 2-5 on the season, 3.72 ERA. Let's take a look at his saves. He's got 28 saves. So when put into a save position, he's not bad. He's not bad. I think he's blown 6 saves, but he's got 28 on the season. And he's only 24. Our catchers, Javi Lopez, still injured. Paul LaDuca and Hamilton Porter are going to hold it down behind the plate for this team. The big ham himself. Let's take a look at what he's done. Sorry, right on top of the screen. I'm trying to jump around here. But 57 at-bats, 3 homers and 10 RBIs since being called up from Triple-A. So that's exciting for this team. The 63 overall, A potential, 22-year-old catcher could be the future behind the plate for this club. And if we were to have any other injury, we may have to go to the trusty vet, Bob Henley, down there in AAA, who's just been hanging around. Bobby Hens, who's been here since day one. I believe he may have been the first name I ever even mentioned on this show. At first base, we've got Big Papi himself. We traded Bartolo Colon and Jason Varitek to the Red Sox and got David Ortiz for the second half run. Since joining the Spos, well, it doesn't really show us what he's done since he's been here, but he's got a season average of 215 with 3 homers and 10 runs batted in. JT, not having an awful season, but not the greatest season. And Ike Diggs has not played much at all. So I'm thinking JT could go at the deadline. He is in the last year of his contract and will be a free agent. So if we don't have a need for him, he could be on the block easily, and we'll free up some space and maybe bring in a pitcher in in his stead. That could happen. Second base, we've got Kilvio Veras, past All-Star. Third base is DeAndre Wolf. But actually, we've been throwing Howie Baroa on third. He's been hot in 159 at bats, 283 batting average. Ekstrom, Robert Ekstrom. What can we say about Robert Ekstrom? If you watch the show, you know this is the most injury-prone individual I've ever seen on this damn game. We got him in a trade, he gets hurt. Season number 2, he gets hurt. Season number 3, torn finger ligament, out 1 to 2 months. Seriously, bro, rub some dirt in it. Get your ass back in the game. Shortstop is, of course, Derek Jeter, 287 average, 12 home runs, 50 RBIs. This is 29-year-old Derek Jeter. The scary thing is, look up there on the top of the screen, the 92 overall is heading downward. So he's getting to the downward part of his career. So we got him maybe at the right time, but look where he's losing. Contact, power, speed. He's slowing down, and he's not hitting well against left-handed pitching either. So, but Howie Baroa is on the move. He's on the rise. He's in the green in the overall, and he'll be playing mostly third base here for the Spos in tonight's episode. Manny Ramirez is going to be in left field. Out there in center, we've got, yeah, that's right, Andrew Jones, who went to the Hall of Fame for real this year. Congratulations to Andrew. But I don't know how long he's going to be wearing the red, white, and Expo blue. He has not had a great season. We brought him in here for his bat. Yes, he has 20 home runs. Yes, he has 54 RBIs, but he's only batting .204. A very sad batting average from a player who hit 271, 260, 204 with a crappy 268 OBP, and the slugging number is down from last year as well when he hit 42 jacks for the Atlanta Braves. So that's the center field position, which we could maybe be making a trade for Andrew Jones. Who knows? If we trade Andrew Jones, we'll probably get some solid pitching, right? And then we have these guys down in AAA who can play in the outfield. We got Radrick Von Schwinga, okay? We've got Kareem Hawkins, who's been sitting down there for 4 years waiting to play, all right? And you just look at his stats this year. Okay, he doesn't have the pop in his bat, but defensively, his fielding, he's a 95 fielding with a decent arm, which is on the rise, and he can react well. So we might even be bringing him up just to do what he has to do defensively, and we can deal with the Andrew Jones situation at the deadline. And, of course, without showing him, we have Vlad Guerrero. I don't need to show you Vlad Guerrero, okay? If you were around in the 90s or the early 2000s, you remember Vladdy wearing the red, white, and Expo blue up there in Montreal and really being quite possibly their best player. I don't know if I'd say ever, but quite possibly their best player. So before we head into the games tonight, our topic of conversation is we're going to throw out a number. So if I've got viewers, you throw out a rando number, and we're just going to shoot off athletes who wore that number. And it could be any random player. It doesn't really matter, okay? It could be any random player. It could be Bob Stanley of the Boston Red Sox, okay? It could be, I don't know. I don't even know. Any rando player that you could think of. Doesn't really matter. Throw a number up on the board. I'll start it off when I see a number pop up. Okay. So the other thing we're talking about, we got 2 new games coming out, hot games, NBA 2K27 and NHL 27. And we have got hockey season coming our way. So thoughts on any sports topics, I'm open to it. Love to get the conversation started here on the show as we play as our Montreal Expos. So let's go to the calendar. And we have got, July 19th. Lucky number 13. At Robert Kelly 2193 says at number 13. Lucky number 13. Okay, I'll start it off. My most random number 13. My most random. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, how about A-Rod with the Yankees? Right? A-Rod did wear 13. But the one Yankee that I can think of off the top of my head that wore number 13 was one of my favorites from the 86, 87, 88 Yankees. And that would be Mike Pagliarulo, Pags himself. He wore 13 for those Yankees in the mid-'80s. And he was one of my favorites. I actually did a little short last year with Mike Pagliarulo hitting a home run here on one of these games to walk off, I believe, against the Toronto Blue Jays when I played as the 86 Yankees here on the show. So we have got Andy Pettitte. We've got Andy Pettitte going up against Todd Acevedo. Todd Acevedo of the San Diego Padres, who I have never ever heard of, but we're going to be taking them on anyway. Again, what we do here is we're going to quick sim Friday, Saturday. We'll watch Sunday, and then we quick sim the rest of the week. So pay attention as I'm talking. Wilt Chamberlain wore number 13. Yes, did he? Oh, that must have been like 100. Odell Beckham, very good, kid. I didn't even think about Odell Beckham, and he's still playing, right? Isn't he back with the Giants, or did I hear that wrong? I'm pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure he is back with the Giants. So if you're just joining the party, throw a number up on the board, and we're all throwing out rando names for that number. So right now we're on number 13. It could be any sport. It doesn't have to be baseball, basketball. Yes, this is a baseball show, but I love to talk about all sports, any sports. Okay, don't talk about cricket or anything I don't know the first thing about it. Okay, I actually downloaded the cricket video game, and it was not for me, but. Okay, San Diego, Dan Marino. Oh, my God, dude. You're on a roll. Dan Marino, yes, he wore 13. I did a whole freaking little short about him as well. See, now you're going to get me going. I got to play some games here. Okay, Andy Pettitte, Todd Acevedo. This is game number 1 of the night, a 7:05 night game on a Friday at the Big O. And we take the loss. Oh, bumba. So we lose to the lowly San Diego Padres. Saturday is coming, and we take the loss there. So we're 0-2 in this 3-game set against the Padres as we head into Sunday night. That means slow simulation, and we'll get to see what happens here. Yes, that's right. Manny Machado. Now, dude, I hope you're not Googling the number 13 and then reading them off to me. I hope you're not doing that, kid. I hope. Slow simulation for this one. Let's go ahead and quick manage. Now, if you're unfamiliar with how we do this, we will quick manage Dave Concepcion. All right. If we end up in a tie game in the 9th inning, we jump in and we'll take a look-see. Love when it happens in an old stadium. Preferably our stadium. Look at that. I went ahead and did that. But preferably our stadium in Montreal, or if we can, I'd love to see Minnesota tonight. Oh, I'd love to get a game in Minnesota. Okay, so rocking and a rolling. Here we go. Quick manage time. Let's see if I can actually get this right. Hey, look at that. I actually got it right. Welcome on into the show. Our number on the board is 13. We're rattling off sports stars who wore 13. And we got a couple of good ones. Manny Machado, Max Muncy, Dave Concepcion, Dan Marino, of course. Wilt Chamberlain, who I didn't realize wore number 13. I didn't realize that. You could also throw a number up there and see how many we can get. Quick counts will put that on. CC Sabathia is going to be on the hill here in this slow sim. And we'll have I almost said Quilvio. Here's the lineup for our Spos. Quilvio will play second base. DJ will play shortstop. Vladdy Guerrero's in right field. Manram will play left. Andrew Jones, let's see if he can get out of this funk. He'll be playing center field. David Ortiz is at first base. Big Papi, that's right. A true Yankee fan went out and traded for Big Papi. Look, I know what it takes to win, man. I know what it takes, and it takes Big Papi, right? We're going to see what he can do for our club. Paul LaDuca is going to catch. DeAndre Wolf will not play third base. we're going to go ahead and put Howie Baroa at third base. And, of course, CC Sabathia is going to pitch. Now, here's the thing, okay? At the end of the last episode, we had Man Ram playing center field, and we had Trot Nixon in right field. But we had a little bit of a break, and our boy, he did okay at the All-Star break. So we're going to give Andrew Jones a couple of views here to see what he can do. So game number 1, Vance Diaz to lead off against CC, and he flies out. Todd Waka strikes out. Lee Kuo is going to pop up. CJ Carr. Oh, look at it. Now you're rambling off some crazy shit. Kilvio Veras will lead off for the Spos. That's a ground out. DJ flies out. Vladdy Guerrero is going to ground out. Now, we're trying to avoid the sweeps. We do not like the sweeps here in Exponation. There's a strikeout for Todd Hollinsworth. Fulmer grounds out. Slade grounds out. Man Ram to the plate, and he walks. Beautiful. That's a good start to the inning. Andrew Jones, frickin' deliver. He hits into a fielder's choice. David Big Poppy Ortiz singles. Here comes Paul LaDuca. LaDuca's going to fly out. Baroa singles. Bases freaking juiced for CC Sabathia coming to the plate with the bases loaded. And, oh, my God, I got to be honest with you. If there was any time for my TV to say, I don't like you, fanatic, it's right now. Okay? Little story here. So, in the last maybe 6 months, I've owned 2 TVs here in the room, and they all do the same thing. They love to just randomly turn off. So hang with me. Let's keep talking numbers. While we're here. Dontavian Wicks. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Tell me who he played for. My TV is rebooting. It just wasn't into the game tonight. So let's go ahead and get back to it eventually. Okay, time to throw a new number out there. I'm going to throw the number up on the board in the chat, and I want you to come up with players who may have worn this number. Boom, there it is. Okay, there's the number. It's up on the board. The next number, I just spun the wheel, and it came out with that number. So, number 39. Number 39 is the number. I have one off the top of my head. I don't know if anyone will come up with it, but okay, so CC Sabathia is still at the plate, and bases are juice for him. Let's see if he can deliver for himself. He pops up. So after all that, he ends up popping up. Bogus. Very good. Dave Parker. That is a good, solid call right there. Dave Parker. Minka Fitzpatrick. Okay. Robert Fike will come to the plate against CC. That's a ground out. Spicer grounds out. Reynaldo Soriano walks. Diaz. Soriano stole second. Good for him. Diaz singles, moves him over to third. And CC in a bit of trouble here in the top of the third. And he gets the fielder's choice. Kilvio now to lead off. So, ladies and gentlemen, we went through our full 9, and we haven't done shit. Kilvio grounds out. Derek flies out. Vladdy flies out. Alrighty. Lee Kuo flies out. Todd Hollinsworth is going to ground out. Brad Fulmer grounds out. Man Ram singles to lead off the inning. Andrew Jones trying to climb out of that hole. Look at that 197 batting average. How awful is that? He singles. So first and second now for David Ortiz, Big Poppy. He grounds out, but it's okay. That is what we call a productive out. He moves Andrew Jones and Manny Ramirez over. We now have 1 out and runners on second and third for Paul LaDuca. And Paul flies out. Howie Baroa walks. So base is juiced again. CC Sabathia, 2 times in the same game, he gets a chance to deliver with the bases loaded, and he flies out again. John Slade John Slade, I believe, is one of those fake names in that show Psych. I'm almost positive that he calls himself John Slade. If you didn't watch Psych, that is a hell of a show. Super funny. It was like 8 or 9 seasons. Actually, my daughter got me into that, but an excellent show. Okay, that's going to be a base hit for Slade. Fike hits a single, so we got first and third for Rodney Spicer, and he sack fly for a run. So the Padres take a 1-0 lead. Reynaldo Soriano strikes out. Vince Diaz is gonna. Oh, they caught Spicer stealing. Kilvio, let's get some shit done. Let's go, Spose. Ground out right there. DJ pops out. Vladdy flies out. Vince Diaz grounds out. Todd Walker grounds out. Lee Quo flies out. So we're in the bottom of the 6th. Man Ram to lead off. He singles. So he's 2 for 2. He's the only real productive Spo here in this game. Fielder's choice by Andrew Jones. Big Poppy singles. First and second now. Paul LeDuc pops out. Howie Baroa singles. Drives in 1. Ties the game. Big Howie Baroa. CC, we're going to pinch hit for you, baby. Because we need a run. Roy Campanella, number 39. Excellent. That's a blast from the past. Thank you, Mr. Kelly. The one I'm thinking of actually shares a name. Roberto Kelly. Roberto Kelly wore 39 with the New York Yankees. I always go back to the Yankees, and I mean, obviously, it's pretty well known why I do that, but Roberto Kelly wore 39. Hamilton Porter with a chance. Oh, I'm sorry. No, he's on the bench. We're not going to bring in Hamilton Porter. We're actually going to bring in Ike Diggs because he hasn't done much, and he strikes out. Okay, so Ike, you got to come out of the game. That means we got to go with who's got some juice, baby. Oh no, Ricardo Rincon coming in. And that's a ground out. Fulmer doubles. Slade grounds out. Robert Fike grounds out. Kilvio. I almost call him Quilvio every time. The old guys, that's right. You do know the old guys. Of course you do. Of course you do. So 39s. 39 is a tough number. A tough number. So feel free to throw a number up on the board. We'll talk about it. A lot of stuff to talk about tonight in the world of sports. Kilvio Veras doubles to lead off the inning. So we stayed out of a mess. We got out of a mess. That is a positive thing for this club as we try to avoid the sweeps by the Padres. Cletus Clary is on the hill for the Padres. Jeter strikes out. Vladdy walks. Let's see if we can get Kilvio to steal third. Do we do it?
He's out.
And he gets caught. Man Ram strikes out. So Rodney Spicer. See, now that's dumb because we're in the game. We have a chance, and I try to steal third. That's just dumb. Rodney Spicer grounds out. Cletus Cleary will be pinch hit for by Avery Garcia. There's a strike out. And Vance Diaz grounds out. Andrew Jones now to lead off the bottom of the 8th. He grounds out. David Big Hawk. Oh, Dominic, look, no fear coming out of left freaking field with a hockey player. Dude, Dominic Hasek, the Dominator. That's right, 39. Good call, no fear. Good call. Awesome. Poppy strikes out. Paul LeDuc hits a solo jack, and we're up 2-1. Thank you, Paul LeDuca. Howie Baroa grounds out. You know what that means? Time to go to the bullpen. Oh, you cheated. You went online. You come on. You did, didn't you? You did. All right, we're going to go to the pen. We're bringing in Billy Wagner to get the close. He gets one. Oh, he gives up a double. Uh-oh, don't blow it. He gets the line out. Brad Fulmer singles and ties the game. Billy frickin' Wagner can't close the door in the 9th. Slade singles. Fike singles. Bases juiced. Time to go to the pen. We're going to bring in Eric Gagne, who's basically trying to tell us, I am your closer. And he gets the strikeout. Okay, it's a 2-2 tie ball game. So we thought we were closing the door with Wagner. Now we got a pinch hit for our boy Gagne, and we're gonna we'll waste DeAndre Wolf here. And he singles. Good for him. Good for him. Kilvio bunts him over, so that's some small ball. For those of you out there who don't know, that is called small ball. Okay, that's setting the table. DeAndre got on first. Okay, Kilvio bunted him over, and we've got two big bats coming up. And if DJ or Vladdy can't get the shit done, then maybe we talk about trading one of them. Okay? And there's Derek Jeter to end the game. And thank you very much, DJ. And we avoid the sweep to the San Diego Padres. And let me tell you, if there's one team in baseball I don't want to get swept by, it's the San Diego Padres. That's right. I said it right here. I do not like the San Diego Padres. I don't care what anybody says. I don't like them. I do like their stadium, though. It's an awesome place to go see a game. Okay, so Cincinnati is coming to Montreal, and they are 44-56. They have Louis Franco on the hill in game one against our worst pitcher in the staff, Trey Moore. And today is a day to sign draft picks. So, yes, I'd like to stop simulating, and we'll go right here, and we'll talk about signing our draft picks. Okay? So, might need to bring up the AAA closer. Yeah, so we kind of looked at that at the beginning of the episode. I don't know if you were here, no fear. But he's good. He's got 28 saves. His ERA is not awful, but he does have 6 blown saves. So he's kind of on the same. I would say that Billy is still a little bit ahead of him, but we'll have to see. So who is ready to be signed? Jermaine Cox says not quite yet. So we're looking for that number on the top of the screen, right above his name, to be above 50%, and we don't have one of those right now. But we can go and see if maybe there's somebody else that is ready to be signed, and no, there is not. So, Jermaine, you'll sit right there until you are ready to be signed. Okay? That's the way that this shit's going to work. This guy will go to the silver. Nobody wants to sign with our club, but we do have some potential. We went ahead. We got catcher. We got a starting pitcher and a center fielder. So we'll see what happens with our draft picks. We haven't really even had a draft pick that's come up yet and done anything except for Ham Porter. Ham Porter was a draft pick that we then changed his name. So maybe if we can get a really cool, good number, we put a good number up on the board or put a trivia question up on the board for me. See if you could stump me. If you could stump me, and I won't cheat, I promise, because I don't have my computer right here. But if you could stump me, then maybe I'll let you name a player here tonight before we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and head back to the calendar. And we are at the end of the week, so we have to check our current standings. Standings look a lot like this after 1 week of play here on the show. The Marlins continue to lead the East. We have fallen back a game. We're now 3.5 games back. The Central, the Cubbies still hold that slim lead over the Pirates of 1 game. In the West, the Giants and the Rockies. Oh, and look at the D-backs. Okay, so that race continues to tighten. The D-backs have jumped up onto the board. The wild card is the Braves and the Spos still. The American League East, that one is, the Yankees have fallen back a little bit. Yeah, kind of. The Sox now hold the lead. The Central, still the Indians. And, of course, out in the West are the Brewers. The White Sox and the Blue Jays are still your American League wild cards. Time to head into week 2. Well, really just the same week, but we finished up a week with the Padres. Against Cincinnati, Trey Moore against Louis Franco. That's an 8-7 Spos win. Javi Vasquez against Louis Lugo. And that's a loss. It is time. Number 70. Who wore number 70? Okay. If I'm going to say who wore number 70 right now, I'm going to say Leonard Marshall of the New York Giants. Leonard Marshall wore number 70. And he is, I don't want to say infamous, but he laid one of the biggest hits on Joe Montana that I've ever seen live. And that was in the in the NFC Championship game. I think it was 1991, 1990 or 91. So number 70 is up on the board. So throw who you got up there. Who wore 70? That's a rando number, but who wore 70? Andy Pettit against Brian Nunez, and we avoid the series loss to the Cincinnati Reds with a 5-1 victory. It is now the 26th of July here on the show. Paris Johnson Jr. Dude, I swear to God, you're making up some of these names. I don't know who Paris Johnson Jr. is. Let me know who he plays for. I'm assuming football, because I'm guessing my young GM here, my junior GM, he likes football. That's what I'm guessing, because he keeps saying football names. We'll go to our, draft pick signing. Jermaine Cox is ready to sign. We're going to offer him a contract. And yes, we sign our first round pick, Jermaine Cox, center fielder. He'll be joining the Montreal Expos. Everybody else is still in limbo as to whether or not they're going to sign. Who I'm really hoping to get is this young man right here, Kent Favre. Not Brett Favre, Kent Favre right here in Expo land. So we managed to get Jermaine Cox. Welcome to the organization. Jermaine, back to the calendar. And yes, I'm moving around quickly tonight, aren't I? I am moving around quickly tonight. We are at Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Twins, and David Boomer Wells is on the hill. He is 8-8 on the season, 2.94. The former Montreal Expo is taking on Tim Wakefield here on a Friday night game in Minnesota, and we take the loss. So Boomer does his job getting a win for the Twins. Manuel Bautista in Game 2 against CeCe, and that's a 11-4 victory for the Montreal Expos. Let's head to Minnesota, and we will take on the Minnesota Twins here on the show. We're going to do this one live, so we'll get to see how we do. All right, we're 1-0 tonight. Almost saw our team blow a game, but I don't care who actually announces it. So if we're tied in the ninth, we'll jump in and get to see the Homer Dome in Minnesota. Trey Moore is on the hill. Kilvio Veras, Derek Jeter, Vlad Guerrero, Manny Ramirez, and look at Andrew Jones finally climbing out of that slump. That batting average has come up over 190. He's into the 200s. Congratulations on doing your job 21% of the time. David Ortiz, Paul LaDuca, DeAndre Wolf, and JT Snow will round out the lineup. And let's head to Minnesota for this one. Eric Milton is on the hill against Kilvio, and that's a ground out. DJ doubles. I always like watching Derek Jeter in Minnesota. I thought he played pretty well there. Vlad Guerrero doubles. Bada bing, bada boom. It's 1-0. Manram grounds out. Andrew Jones, the hottest player in the lineup, doubles and drives in another run. Here comes Big Papi, who spent a little time in Minnesota. A lot of people forget that, but he did, and he pops up. Brad McCann to lead off for the Twinners. That's a ground out. Devon White strikes out. Ramon Montoya is going to ground out. Paul LaDuca comes to the plate to lead off the second. Strikeout. Wolf ground out. JT Snow is going to strike out. Sam Reese to lead off for the Twinners. That's a pop out. Widger singles. Catalanato pops out. And Alex Rodriguez plays in Minnesota in our world. In our world, he plays in Minnesota. Good for him. And he's going to ground out Kilvio to lead off the third. That's a ground out. DJ strikes out. Vladdy singles to get a little bit of a something going. Manram walks. First and second for Andrew Jones. And he fielder's choices it. Is that a word? Can you say it that way? Fielder's choice, is it? Johnny Lemieux. Don't call me Mario. Strikes out. Corey Koski is going to single. Brad McCann strikes out. Or is it Brian McCann? I don't know. Devon White is going to pop up. David Big Poppy Ortiz to come in to lead off the fourth. That's a fly out. Paul Adoke grounds out. DeAndre Wolf reaches on an error. JT strikes out. So we got a 2-0 lead, bottom of the fourth. Trey seems to have a little something going here. I don't really want to jinx it, but he seems to have a little something going. Ground out. Reese, fly out. Chris Widja is going to ground out. Here's Kilvio Veras now to lead off. He strikes out. He's 0 for 3 on the night. Jeter singles. Guerrero doubles, driving in Jeter. It's 3-0 Spos. Jackie Hinkle comes in the pitch. He'll face Manram. He strikes him out. Andrew Jones is going to walk. We got first and second now. 2 outs, 3-0 Spos. And there's a pop out. Frank Catalanato to lead off the bottom of the fifth. Trey's going to stay out on the hill. He gets him to ground out. A-Rod grounds out. Johnny Don't Call Me Mario Lemieux hits a solo jack. That's right, a slapper to right field. It's 3-1 Expos. Koski reaches on an error, and here goes the Trey Moore disaster. McCann is going to ground out. Thank you very much. So Trey Moore gets through 5. That's good. That's what we want him to do. Paula Duke grounds out. DeAndre Wolf doubles. Here's JT Snow, baby. He's going to ground out. Kilvio now strikes out. So the Spos can't get anything done in the 6th. Trey Moore against Devon White. There's a fly out. Ramon Montoya singles. Sam Reese flies out. Chris Widja grounds out. So Trey Moore gets through 6. I think we go to the pen. Here because he has some juice, though. We'll see where he is when we get to the bottom of the 7th. Derek Jeter against Alonzo Austin flies out. Vladdy Guerrero grounds out. Manram solo jack, and it's 4-1 just like that. Thank you very much. And Andrew Jones grounds out. So Trey Moore is still doing pretty good. So we're going to leave him where he is. All right. He's going to gives up a single to Catalanato. A-Rod hits into a fielder's choice. Lemieux singles. Koski double play. So 7 strong innings for Trey Moore. And David Ortiz will lead off against Austin. He singles. LeDuc reaches on an error. Wolf hits a 3-run jack. DeAndre Wolf with the 3-run jackaroo. And it is 7-1. 7-1. Derek Jeter wore 70 in spring training. Come on, dude. What was he, like 19? That was like 1995 or something? Seriously? Is that true? Did he really do that? Or are you making that up? Okay, so we pick up 3 on a 3-run jack from DeAndre Wolf, and JT Snow strikes out. Kilvio Veras grounds out. Derek Jeter walks, and Vlad Guerrero grounds out. So we now have a 7-1 lead. I'm going to leave Trey in, see if he can get through 8 innings. He gives up a double. He gets a strikeout. He gives up another double, but they throw out McCann at the plate. Reese reaches on an error. Widger singles. And we get out of the inning. So good job, Trey. We got to show him. We got to be supportive of Trey Moore, okay? He's the only pitcher in this rotation besides Javi who's been here since the beginning. So we got to give him a little love. Manram strikes out. Andrew Jones singles. David Ortiz strikes out. Paul LeDuc flies out. So we're going to the bottom of the 9th. Let's go get a pitching change. We're going to go to Gagne. This guy's been the shit shutting shit down. The shit shutting shit down. That's right, I just said that. Say that 5 times fast. A-Rod grounds out. Lemieux hits a solo jack. Koski flies out. End it right here, baby. End it, Eric. There's a single. End it. There's a single. End it. There's a single. Dude. Okay, there you go. So he gets us out of there. So the player of the game is DeAndre Wolf with his 3-run jack. We take 2 out of 3 from Minnesota, and we're 59-47. So we needed a good series, and we got it. And a couple of really surprising role players in there, all right? DeAndre Wolf, who's only playing because Ekstrom is injured, gets us the 3-run jack in that game. So that was huge, even though we almost saw our bullpen, again, blow it. All right, baby. The trade deadline is on the horizon. So we'll also have to extend some contracts possibly. All right. So Milwaukee, we're taking on Milwaukee. This is a powerhouse lineup. Now, here's the thing. Let's go to the standings, okay? If you look at the standings out in the National League, in the American League West, they have a 14-game lead. 14 games on the Oakland Athletics, and they only have 3 more wins than us. So I don't know if that means that the National League is just better in this game, or I don't know. You tell me. Feel free to share. I don't know. So our last number on the board as we head into our second week of the episode, our last number on the board was the number 70. And I came up with Leonard Marshall. We had Paris Johnson Jr., and then my junior GM went ahead and told me that Derek Jeter wore it in spring training. That's something I never knew. I did not know that Derek Jeter actually wore number 70 in spring training. So throw another number up on the board if you're watching. I do have 4 or 5 people actually watching me live. So let me know if you're there. A number, okay? I've already heard from my junior GM. I threw a number up there. I threw a couple of numbers up there. So throw a number up on the board, and we'll throw some sports stars out there who may have worn it, okay? And, I could easily say like 24, okay? And I could think of probably 3 or 4 guys off the top of my head who wore number 24. I can easily think of 4 or 5 guys off the top of my head who wore number 24. But give me a good one. Give me a what we would consider like a strange sports number, right? And we'll see what randos we can come up with. Okay, so we're heading into the end of July as we make our way into the dog days of summer, all right, which is August. Beautiful August, for those of you who don't know. And August is a great month. Okay? A lot of awesome, excellent people born in the month of August. And just as a shout out, I can say happy birthday. Happy birthday to someone very near and dear to me tonight on the live show. 46. Boom, you put it up on the board. The first one that pops in my head is Andy Pettitte. Andy Pettitte wore number 46 for the New York Yankees. Thank you very much. 4-6er. Andy Pettitte. I don't know anybody else that wore 46. So if you know somebody who wore 46, definitely put it up there. But kind of getting back to the month of August, yes, nice birthday for someone very close to the Fanatic this evening, or today. So happy birthday to you, and I hope you got to enjoy your day. To everybody else born in the month of August, happy birthday. Happy birthday. And even if it is me. Okay, the Milwaukee Brewers. We are heading to Milwaukee to take them on. Wilson Alvarez will go against Javi. And, we get a little spotlight moment here. Vasquez has a shutout going late in the game. Do we finish it off? No, we simulate to the end. And we take down the powerful Brew Crew. We win 4-3. Let's go to our signing draft picks page. So Geraldo Moreno has said he would love to try and sign. And yes, welcome to the club. We signed starting pitcher Geraldo Moreno. And Kent Favre is still fighting me on this. Jesus Silva doing the same. Terrence Gill. He doesn't want to sign quite yet either. Okay, Jermaine Cox. We know we signed him to the club, and we're working with everybody else. Now, why would you not want to come to Montreal? Okay. As someone who's been there, now I was pretty young, and I didn't really appreciate the history. Okay, I didn't appreciate the sights. I was very young when I went there. But I can tell you one thing. They have got one hell of an amusement park, and when it's hot as shit, I'm sure that water park is pretty cool too. I'm sure that water park is pretty cool too. Okay, Milwaukee for game 2. It's Andy Pettit against Mike Remlinger, and Andy Pettit again going late in the game with a shutout and a one-hitter. So you know what? We're going to jump in, and we're going to watch to see if Andy Pettit can shut down the one-hitter and get the 9-inning complete game shutout.
John Shelby alongside Chris Singleton. We'd like to welcome those just tuning in.
Okay, now before we do this, we have to make sure. There we go. That we're just watching. Okay, so Andy Pettit going for a complete game shutout against the powerful Milwaukee Brewers. With division, talking numbers up on the board. 46 was thrown up on. Just happens to be on the hill here in this one, and you can see that big old 46 on the back of his jersey. You got a number out there? I got 4 people watching. Identify yourself. I know 3 of you. I'd love to know who my 4th is watching me right now. Join in the conversation. Throw a number up on the board. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Andy Pettit going for the complete game shutout here in Expo Nation. He's given up just one hit. Just one hit. Number on the board is 46. Throw your favorite 46. Who wore 46? All right. Randy Wynn. Randy Wynn. I think we've talked about this in the past. Myself and No Fear, we have a really cool Randy Wynn story. So we went to a Los Angeles Clippers game once, and I don't know if No Fear will remember this, but our boy right here that's at the plate, Randy Wynn, at that Clippers game, got to take a half-court shot, which he made. He made the half-court shot for a car. And I was like, that's Randy Wynn, the baseball player? Actually, I didn't know that. No Fear had to tell me. Good pitch there from Andy Pettit. But yeah, Randy Wynn made the half-court shot and ended up winning the car. Really cool. It was a really, and I will never forget that. It's the only time I've ever seen somebody do that live. Dominic Key now coming to the plate for the Brew Crew. And that's a little low. So I know it seems like it's going pretty fast, but when we're sitting here watching, I do tend to put, I'll put the quick counts up. So it'll just take them like 2-0 or 3-0 or whatever it is. So Andy Pettit gets Dominic Key to a 2-2 count. We're looking to see if he can get that complete game. Looking to see if we can get that complete game. If I could go to any game all time, any sport, what would it be? Okay, that's a great question from the junior GM. If you're watching the show, and I got 5 or 6 of you in here watching me right now live, put yours up on the board, okay? If you could go to any game, any sport, any time, I'm assuming past game, right? I'm assuming past game, all-time game. What would you go to? And I have mine. I have it. I think, I think I know which one I would love to go to, but it would take me way back in time. I'm talking way back. No, he's taking Andy Pettit out of the game.
We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we
okay, that's all right. I mean, he's gonna get the win. So let's get out of here. Scotty Shields is gonna take over, but we can get out of this. We don't need to watch this, right? No, we don't need to watch this now.
And as relievers go,
I'm not gonna play as him. Okay, maybe just one pitch. That was awful. Okay, let's end this right now. and we'll simulate an exit. So we get the win, though. We get the win, 6-1. Andy
After 4
Pettit
wins in a
can't
row,
complete
you start
game
to
it.
think a little bit that you're
Can't
on a
complete game it.
roll, and that's the momentum that just takes on a
So,
life of its
question
own.
of the
Players
night
start
right
hitting
now.
up and down
You
the
can go to
lineup.
any
Never
game,
know who's
all
gonna come
time,
up with
any
the big hit,
sport. What
who's
would
gonna
it
come out
be?
of the
What would
bullpen
it
and get the
be?
big
Throw it
outs,
up
but it's
there
a good
on the board.
feeling, and you wanna
Okay,
extend it.
I'm going to throw mine out there. I'm going to throw mine out there while we're waiting for it to switch over. If I could go to any game live, I would go. I don't now. If Pop is actually still alive, he can actually probably try to help me with this. But I don't know what game of the World Series it was. But I would love to go to. It was either the '77 or '78 World Series when Reggie Jackson hits 3 home runs in a single game. That's where he earns his nickname, Mr. October. And there's a couple reasons. There's a couple reasons why. Okay. One is because the obvious. You get to see Reggie Jackson hit 3 home runs in a game in a World Series. Number 2 is the electricity in that building. Now, if you never saw a Yankee playoff game or a Yankee World Series game in Yankee Stadium, the atmosphere is off the charts, okay? And you can never experience anything. I think what I've heard is the closest possible thing is Seattle for a football playoff where you can just feel the building just shaking at your feet, okay? Now, I was there for the Yankees in the World Series, and I was lucky enough to have seen a playoff game. Now, and the third reason, so seeing him hit the 3 home runs, being there for just the feeling of seeing those Yankees and that just crazy excitement and energy in Yankee Stadium in 1977, and I would have got to see Thurman Munson play live, which, unfortunately, the captain passed the year that I was born. I believe it was shortly before I was born, so I never got to see him play live. But I've only heard amazing things about him, and I would have had the opportunity to see him play and to see that entire Bronx Zoo team play, which would have been awesome. Would have been. I don't know if that's necessarily the Bronx Zoo team. Okay, if you go on I don't know, if you go on one of the streaming channels and you type in Bronx Zoo, either you get a documentary about the Bronx Zoo or you get a documentary about the 1989 Yankees. So what's interesting is I have now seen two of our viewers who have mentioned the 1980 Miracle on Ice game. And yes, I mean, that's a great one. That is a great one. I didn't even think about that. Do you believe in miracles? Yeah, that's great. That would have been a great one to go see, right? Of course, the I guess I don't know what would you call them, young, inexperienced U.S. Olympic team takes down the powerhouse team from the USSR, and obviously some new generations don't really know what that is, but pick up a history book and actually read it to see what it is. Yankees 2001 World Series Game 3. World. Oh, okay. I'm with you. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point, man. So, yeah, 2001 Yankees World Series Game 3. Obviously, you've got all the emotion in New York at that point, and to have been there for that game, probably it's either that one or the one where the Yankees play for the first time after 9/11, and Mike Piazza hits the home run. Right? I mean, see, you could talk about this stuff until you're blue in the face. There's so many great games, right? And we're talking. I've seen baseball and hockey here, but there's been some awesome football games. Like, what about the Immaculate Reception? Is that what it's called? Dude, that would have been a great one. Of course, you got to sit through the whole game before you get to the end of the game to see it. That would have been cool. I would have loved to have been at the Super Bowl when I got to see it live on TV, but when Norwood misses the kick and the Giants win 20-19, oh, that would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. Okay, so now that we see you got me talking, and this is what happens here on the show, right? So if you're in here, you're watching, it's live, share. Definitely share, because it keeps the conversation going. And everybody throws a little something up on the board. If you're catching us afterward, okay, you're one of the folks who watches it after the fact, put your thoughts in the comments, and I'll talk about it during the next episode, all right? Also, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're at 88 subscribers right now. We need 12. We're 12 away from the ultimate goal of 100. And if we get to 100, who knows, you might actually shut me up. I might actually just shut it all down when I get to 100. I'm just kidding. That probably wouldn't happen. Okay, so we get through that one 6-1. We're looking for a sweep of the Milwaukee Brew Crew, and we got it. We got the sweep, and I believe, is it? Uh-oh. Did we miss the trade deadline? Oh, we did. We missed the trade deadline. Oh, no. So we can't make any trades. What? Nope, we're done. So we missed the trade deadline. I know, dude. I know. I just realized that. So we got to roll. Okay? We got to go to the wall with this team. That's all it is. The game the night of Munson's funeral. Mercer went nuts. Yes, Bobby Mercer did go crazy. I think he went something like 4 for 5 in that game. And yeah, that was a game that would have been awesome to be at. The other one too. So I got a couple folks in the room who are college basketball fans. Okay. If there's one college basketball game that I would have loved to have been at, and I know this is going to sound weird. This is going to sound crazy because I like the UConn Huskies, and most people of my generation didn't like this particular player, but I would have loved to have been at the game where Christian Laettner catches that pass and makes that shot from like the free throw line to beat Kentucky. Could you imagine that place just blowing up? That must have been amazing. Okay. And yeah, I know it's Christian Laettner and nobody likes Christian Laettner. And I feel like he gets such a bad rap, but anyway, that's my feeling. Okay. It's open to discussion. Christian Laettner was a great basketball player, quite possibly one of the best college basketball players of the 90s. Say what you want. You can disagree with me. I don't care. You look at the stats, you look at the wins, he was good. He was very, very good. And no, I'm not just saying that because No Fear is a Duke fan. I'm saying that because I truly believe that. Okay? Shaquille O'Neal was good. All right? Weber was good. They were great. They were great college players. But a lot of people leave Christian Laettner out of that conversation. And when I get to NBA 2K27 and I have the opportunity to go to an era, who knows? I might even jump into that era so I can either redo his career or play against him. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I'll do something. Okay, let's get back to tonight's episode. We've got Houston coming to town for 3 games. Freddie Garcia kicks this one off. And we got to get a sweep here. We need something to happen. Okay, we're a half game back of the Florida Marlins. Okay, and Michigan versus... Wait, we talking about Michigan State versus Indiana State? You're talking about Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird, right? That would have been a good game. Jordan when he shrugs game. So you're talking about when I think he made 6 3-pointers in the first half against the Portland Trailblazers. That would be a good game. Yep, I agree with that. The other good Jordan game is quite possibly when he puts up, I believe, 63 on the Boston Celtics in the playoffs. All right. That kind of shut Larry Bird up for a little bit. For a little bit. It was hard to shut Larry up, but he did it that night. Houston is in town. Freddie Garcia against CC, and that's a win. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look now. The Montreal Expos are winners of 6 straight games, which means we're going to lose here because every time I say this, we do that, and we get the win. That's a 7-game win streak as we head into Sunday night. Houston Astros still in town, and let's take a look at the standings. We are now back in first place if you look over on the right side. Am I ever going to stream basketball? You know, I would love to stream basketball. And I think that would be super fun. The thing about basketball and streaming basketball and kind of building our team there, what's really cool is we can start in the era that you want, and we know most of the players, and all of the drafts are typically made up of the players who actually came in the draft, and we would kind of know who's good and who's not. And I feel like that could really, really create a nice little discussion. So if you're in the chat and you're live right now, that's going to be the next thing we do. Okay. And I think I'm going to do it if I get NBA 2K27. That way it's new and it's fresh. I'm going to do a basketball team, and I'm going to do the New York Islanders in the new NHL game. So I want to do basketball. You pick a team, young man. You pick a team. You help me with this. As much as you don't know, you help me with this. So you pick a team. Let me know who you think we should do, and quite possibly the year. We could talk about which year or which era to do. So, okay, the Houston Astros, we're looking for a sweep, and we lose. Oh, bumba. That's a bumba. All right, I just quick sim through a Sunday. We're going to go right down to the Yankees. So we'll quick sim down to the Yankees, or quite possibly a team that we need. Let's see, who's in the standings that's close to us? Florida, Atlanta. Do we have Florida and Atlanta? We do not. So the next real series that we have that can have any effect on us or that we can have an effect on is nobody. San Francisco. So we'll play, and we'll go ahead and we'll slow sim here the San Francisco game on Sunday. All right. The Athletics come to town, and we get the win in game 1, 3-1. We get the win in game 2. Our team is now 66-48 with a 4-game lead on the Florida Marlins. Oh, good night, sir. Good night, sir. I will be in touch soon, okay? I hope you get out and get to play some golf. Soon. I'm hoping to do that very soon. The Expos going for the shutdown. Okay, now you're talking. So the 2011 to 2012 Charlotte Bobcats. You want to do a rebuild, huh? You want to do a rebuild. Okay, I could see that. We've got game 3 here against the A's. That's a win, so we sweep the A's. The sweeps are coming out, baby. So we got the sweep of the Milwaukee Brew Crew. We sweep the Oakland Athletics, and yeah, they were still in Oakland at the time. God knows where they are now. They're in like limbo. And we're taking on San Francisco, who is currently in first place by a game and a half. So we can help. We can help the Colorado Rockies here if we can get another sweep. Trey Moore on the hill, and we win game 1. Javi Vasquez going up against Carl Pavano, former Expo, and we lose that one. And here we go right here. So the Bobcats only won 7 games in 2011. So, young man, you are an NBA 2Ker. You play that game. I know because you kick my ass at it whenever I play you. Unless I'm the NBA East All-Stars all-time team. That's the only time I ever got you. But tell me if we can play as that team and what era. I think that would probably be the LeBron era, right? Because on the game, I think it goes Kobe era, LeBron era, and then modern era. I think that would have to be the LeBron era. If we were going to play as that team, we might have to actually start in the early 2000s to play as the Bobcats. I'm not really sure. Okay, so San Francisco. We are in San Francisco for this one. Let's go ahead and slow sim it. And we'll go to quick manage. And so we're trying to help those Rockies. Okay, and we're trying to beat the team that knocked us out of the playoffs last year. That's really the goal here. That's what we really seriously want to get done here for sure. And we're at Oracle Park. Of course, that's not. Oh, that might be where they played at that point. It might be. I don't know. Andy Pettitte on the hill. There's your lineup for this one. Kilvio, Derek, and Vlad. Manram, JT, and Andrew Jones. DeAndre, the bomb Wolf, with his 4 dingas and his 296 batting average and 152 at bats, getting shit done for the Spos. Of course, Ham Porter is in the lineup, and look at his stats: 284, 5 dingas, 18 ribbies, and Andy Pettitte is our pitcher. Okay, so Kilvio will lead off. Edward Ortiz on the hill. That's a ground out. Derek Jeter singles. We're going to steal second. He gets caught. Derek Jeter gets caught stealing second base a lot. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that. Can I pitch 1 inning? So my junior GM would like to see me pitch an inning. Yeah, I can do that. I'll pitch an inning. I'll pitch the 9th inning. Vlad Guerrero singles. Manram 2-run jack, and it's 2-0. JT coming to the plate. He walks. A. Jones grounds out. Reggie Sanders grounds out. Kotze grounds out. Darren Erstad is going to ground out. DeAndre to lead off. He flies out. Ham Porter strikes out. Andy Pettitte strikes out. Mike Brantley strike out. Jose Hernandez single. Spezio double play. Welcome on into the show. We're talking about a lot tonight. We're talking about if you could go to any game in history, any all-time game, put it up on the board. The last number that we were guessing players off of was Andy Pettitte, 46. That's what I said for 46. I'm going to throw another number up on the board. The next number I'm going to put up on the board is going to be the number 17. 17. Tell me who wore 17 in any sport and get the conversation rolling here on the show. 17. Or you could tell me which game you would have loved to have gone to.
3.
Kilvio strikes out. Derek Jeter grounds out. Vlad Guerrero's going to walk.
3.
Manram with the strikeout. Miguel Tejada, solo jack. Phil Nevin grounds out. I feel like I either met Phil Nevin. I'm not sure how, but that name sounds, the last name, I know he played for the Padres and possibly the Brewers, but that name sounds so familiar. Edward Ortiz doubles. Reggie Sanders grounds out. Mark Kotze grounds out. J.T. Snow doubles to lead off the inning. Andrew Jones singles. DeAndre, the hot one, Wolf, fielder's choice. Hamilton Porter, fielder's choice. Andy Pettitte, ground out. Darren Erstad now is going to double. Brantley, pop out. Hernandez, strike out. Squat Spezio, 2-run jack, and it's 3-2. Uh-oh, here come the Giants. This is not good. Tejada strikes out. Kilvio Veras singles. Derek Jeter strikes out. Vlad Guerrero singles. Manram strike out. JT ground out. Okay, so as we make our way into the bottom of the 5th inning, Andy Pettitte has given up 3 runs on 5 hits, and the Giants lead us 3-2 here on Sunday Night Baseball. On Thursday night. It's kind of crazy. Couple of topics we have on the board. Number 17, who wore it and who they play for and whatever it is you want to talk about when it comes to that. We've got pick your favorite all-time game that you would have loved to have been at personally to see play, and it could be anything. It could be before you were born. Who cares? Doesn't really matter. Put it in the comments down below. Share with the group. And, of course, we're talking about possible ideas for another, let's say, franchise revival. And what I have on the board right now is the Charlotte Bobcats of the NBA, and possibly doing something with them. I've seen some videos about that. You just go on YouTube, type in, Bobcats franchise. A bunch of guys have done that. So that would be fun, though. That would definitely be fun. Okay. Oh my God! Look at all these 17s. Devontae Adams, Shohei, Griffin Canning, Kevin I don't know, can't read that one. Conception, Miko Hardman, Evan Ingram, Tim Patrick, Dennis Schroeder, Tyler Hero. How about Keith Hernandez? Right? What about Phillip Rivers? Didn't Phillip Rivers wear 17? Right? Phillip Rivers? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. See, I go old school, man. You're throwing some names at me. It sounds like, I don't know. I don't know who that is. But I know they're real because, you're the man. Phil Nevin, ground out. Edward Ortiz, ground out. Reggie Sanders, ground out. Andrew Jones. Okay, so I just thought of one more. So we talked about baseball, sporting event. If there's another sporting event that I wish I could have been at, and this is true. So being a golfer myself, and not much of a golfer, okay, but being a golfer myself, if there's one golf tournament that I would have loved to have been at. Now, I had the privilege of being at the Ryder Cup in 2016 when we won, when the United States won, and that was a very cool experience. And Pops is not here anymore to talk about it, but yeah, we got to see that live. Probably the 86 Masters, when Jack Nicklaus wins at an older age. And it was just crazy when he did it. I would have loved to have been there and seen that live. Jack Nicklaus winning the 86 Masters. Andrew Jones now coming to the plate. It's a 3-2 game, top of the sixth. The GOAT. Are you talking about Jack Nicklaus as the GOAT? I think that's what you're saying, right? Andrew Jones walks. DeAndre Wolf double play. Ham Porter is going to strike out. Mark Kotze now. Solo Jack, it's 4-2. Andy Pettit is going to come off the hill. That's tough to take him out. It really is because he's so good. Matt Manti doubles. Mike Brantley double. I'm sorry, that was Erstad that doubled. Brantley singled. Hernandez fielder's choice. Spezio walks. Tejada lines out. Nevin grounds out. We go to the top of the seventh. We're down 5-2. 5-2. Eddie Guardado comes in to pitch. He gets Matt Manti. And why I left Matt Manti in there is beyond me. I don't know, but I did. I did it. Kilvio singles. Beautiful. He gets caught stealing again. Jeter grounds out. Eddie Guardado going to come out. Roman Horgan singles. Sanders strikes out. Let's go to pickoff. Can't get him. Kotze strikes out. Erstad grounds out. So we're still alive. It's 5-2. It's the top of the eighth. Okay, this is a team that beat us in the playoffs. They're pretty good. They're not the greatest, but they're pretty good. Vladdy grounds out. Manram grounds out. JT grounds out. So really the middle of our lineup has not been super. That's the only word that popped in my head. They have not been super. Brantley flies out. Hernandez grounds out. Spezio singles. Tejada strikes out. So he gets us through, and maybe we can get a little rally going here. Maybe. Andrew to kick it off. Grounds out. Wolf grounds out. Ham Porter strikes out. Okay, so we are through. We lose to the Giants, and they take 2 out of 3. In that one, we still have a nice, snug lead in the East. So, good for us. Kansas City is coming. I'm sorry, we're heading to Kansas City. And Tim Wakefield against Glendon Rush. And Steve Carsey. Oh, Guerrero's going for a fit. Oh, I didn't pitch. I'm so sorry, my friend. I didn't pitch. I was going to pitch. We're going to go in and enter. We're going to try to keep Vladdy's hit streak alive. We've done this once before, so we'll see if we can't keep his hitting streak alive. 17 is on the board. That's the number. We're looking for players who wore 17.
You're just in time. Vladimir Guerrero, his 15-game hit streak on the
Okay, so it goes to 2-1. This is actually me now, folks. I'm playing this. Okay.
For the Royals, Mike Tillman up and throwing.
Oh, that's no bueno. That's no bueno. Okay, Vladdy, 2-2 count. Down the line. No, run. Oh, so he can't keep his hit streak alive. And, wait, what? That was foul? Oh, he gets another at bat in the 10th. It skipped right to the 10th. Okay. They hit him in the ass. What? What? And they beat us. Oh, that's some bullshit, man. They hit Vladdy in the ass. He's going for a hit streak. You know what? We're going into this next game, and I'm hitting the first batter. No, I can't do that. I just can't do it. I can't do it. Kansas City in Game 2. CC on the hill. We get the win. Trey Moore in Game 3. Kirby Robert. Kilvio Veras needs a double to complete the cycle. That's doable. All right, let's see if we can't get a double for good old Kilvio Veras here. Try to complete the cycle, right? I like when they give me a double. I like when they give me a... So all that means is if we hit the ball, we're just going to run the second, right?
Right on time. Alberto Veras. A chance. Swing and a ground ball. And foul.
So I'm a little off. I haven't played in a while. But let's see if we can't get a double here for Kilvio Veras. Ah.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Shit. Okay. Pay attention here. I had that one. Little early.
Yeah, with 2 strikes here, you really want to miss outside the zone with that breaking ball.
That 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 and 2. 2 down, nobody on.
Kirby Robert. That's a cool name. Kirby Robert. Ah, that was a good one, too. Just didn't time it up. Okay, so it's 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Here we go for a double. Struck him out. God damn it. Okay, so we're not going to get the cycle. No, we're not going to get the cycle. And, of course, we lose to the Royals. The freaking Royals. The Royals. Now, but they play dirty, okay? If we're going to say anything about the Royals here in our world, you know, you got a guy who's going for a freaking hit streak, and they hit him in the ass when he gets another chance to do it. And they take 2 out of 3 from us. So that's not good. We're in a bad way right now, okay? We do have a 3.5 game lead currently on those Florida Marlins. Atlanta's right there. The Mets and the Phillies. Well, let's go to this one. This will give us a better picture. So looking at the current standings on August 14th, okay? And we've got about probably 20 minutes left in the episode. So I'm gonna cruise right to the end of August, and we'll see where the team is. We'll take a look at some stats, and then we'll call it a night. But here we are in mid-August, the dog days, and this is what typically kills. Keep in mind is I skipped the trade deadline. That did not help this club. Okay, we needed a pitcher, and my dumbass went right past the trade deadline. Okay, and that's because they got me talking. They got me talking, and I skipped it. But here we go. So we are currently 3.5 games up on the Marlins here on August 14th. We're going to play to August 30th, and then we'll jump back, and we'll see where we stand. We're going to just quick sim it and see where we are, okay? So Philly is coming to town. This is a NL East team. Javi Vasquez against Ted Gale, and we lose. Andy Pettit, Boyce Dunbar, Game 2. That's a loss. Tim Wakefield, Mason Castillo, Game 3 against Philly. That's a win. So we end our little losing streak. And here we go. Philly on a Sunday. CC against Carlos Diaz. That's a win. Javi Lopez is eligible to be reinstated. However, he's still injured. So we're going to keep him on the 60-day because he can't come back. He can't come back. All right, he's eligible, but he can't come back. We'll skip through the 19th. We got the Mets coming to town. The Mets currently sit 15 and a half games back. This is a nothing series. And Trey Moore is injured with a strained bicep. Appears he'll be out for a few days. But what I like to do, we'll keep him active. Okay, we get the win in that one. Javi Vasquez against Al Leiter, game 2. That's a win. Let's go for the sweep. Notice the Mets have not scored a run in this series. Jesus Garcia, the best pitcher on the Mets, going up against Andy Pettit. And we can't get the sweep of the lowly Mets. So we get the Mets and the Phillies in over a 6-game span. And that should be an easy set, right? Because these teams are not good. Philly with Mason Castillo, that's a win. Okay. Carlos Diaz against CC. And Arlen Pringle. Yeah, well, we're losing 4-1. Veras has a 10-game hitting streak. Blah, blah, blah. We lose that game, and I don't really give a shit. I'm not jumping in there to play. All right. Trey Moore is back, and we'll put him back in the lineup. Welcome back to the lineup, Trey. He'll be on the hill against Jose Lopez, and that's a 6-0 loss. So we are now to the 26th. We got the Yankees. We're at Yankee Stadium. Esteban Loaiza, 11-10 against Javier Vasquez, 9-9. We take the 2-1 loss. All right. Beltran against Pettit. That's a 3-1 win. Look at the Yankees' record. The Yankees are 4.5 back of Boston, 71-61. They're right in the thick of things. Okay? So they are a bounce-back club. They lost Derek, and they've bounced back. All right? And Tim Wakefield, 11-5 on the season, quietly having one hell of a season for the Spos. We're going for a series win against the Yankees, and Johnny Diaz on the mound against JT, who's going for a 10-game hitting streak. And we're going to go ahead and simulate to the end of this one. We beat the Yankees 5-2, and no, I don't want to watch the end of that game. So, September call-ups are right around the corner. If I have anybody in the chat who's been with the team, watched the team, anyone down there in the minors that we want to call up, throw it up on the board now because I'm going to be doing the call-ups here in 3 days. August 30th, Tampa Bay. And we get the win August 31st against Tampa Bay. Edgar Ramos, Trey Moore. That's a win. We'll close out the series with Tampa Bay. And then next week, we'll go right up to the okay, so Hawkins and the closer. You want to bring them up. All right, sounds good. So September call-ups. We can call them up right now. It's September 1st. So we have 2 open spots. We have 3 open spots on the roster. So we can call up 3 players, okay? We know for sure that Alfonso Rivera is coming up. So welcome to the team, Alfonso Rivera. Okay, and I'm gonna go with the pick from that was announced here. That was Kareem Hawkins. So Kareem, welcome to the bigs. Okay, and the third one is I have Booker House right now. But let's do this right. Let's go to the AAA roster. The main thing is to see who's on the 40-man. So who's on the 40-man that we could bring up? Juan Acosta with his 2.37 ERA and his 10-7 record. Booker House, 6 wins and 13 losses. It's between these two if you're looking at pitchers. Satchel Durma. Holy monkeys. Look at Satchel Derma, 7-1, okay, 235 ERA. And then Ramon Irizarry. I don't really need another bat in the lineup. We just brought up Kareem Hawkins, okay. The other one that we could give another little, just a little why not kind of run is good old Bobby Hens, the 30-year-old catcher. You bring him up. Maybe he's just there for support for the rest of those, younger players. I don't know. That would be interesting. But I think really it's going to be between the three starting pitchers, right? Acosta is just on, but Derma, what? And then you got the Double A roster as well. Nobody really kind of sticks out to me here. Joaquin Carlson, he was a draft pick of ours last year or 3 years ago. So Joaquin Carlson, he's having a decent season. Tommy Timmons, who's already played in the bigs, his first season, he had an awful season. And only 189 at bats, he hit 169, but he's improved greatly. 271, 11 dingers, 61 RBIs. We have another outfielder we just brought up, so I think we could probably leave him. Michael Young, not too good. So here it is, okay? Here it is. I'm going to leave this on the board for about a minute. I'm going to go with about a minute here, and we're going to make a decision. It's either Juan Acosta with his 10-7, 237 ERA, or it's Satchel Derma with his 7-1 record and a 2.35 ERA. Now, I think Satchel is on our 40-man roster. So either one of them is eligible to be brought up. So go ahead and throw your comment up on the board. I'm going to sit here for a minute, catch my breath, and then we'll jump in. And seeing as how we've got about 15 minutes, I might even quick sim through the rest of September. Who knows? I do have places to be tomorrow, but we'll see. I also want to try to get a little NBA 2K under my belt tonight. Okay, so it looks like my AGM, my JGM, and I actually have come to a pretty good agreement. Juan Acosta is going to get the look here at the call up. He's pitched a little bit more, obviously, in innings. Double. He's pitched double the innings of Satchel Derma. So welcome up. He's going to get the call up. So we'll keep a close eye. Now, with that being done, we have to go and we have to fix the rotation. So my AGM, my JGM, let's go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to leave that up to you guys. All right, for the month of September, you guys are going to adjust the rotation and tell me how you want it to look. Okay? So in the chats, go ahead and tell me what you want. If you're my fourth or fifth or sixth viewer and you want to chime in, let me know. You got questions? It's your first time here. You're going, what the are these guys doing? This is the Expos. We're trying to win a World Series, okay? And we need all the help we can get. So our rotation has not been the best so far. Now, if you're looking over on the left side, you're seeing the current starting rotation heading into the stretch run of this current season. The thing to keep in mind right now is this is not how it looked on day one. Andy Pettit is our ace. Javi was number 2. Then we had Tim Wakefield, Trey Moore, and CC Sabathia. Now, Trey Moore and CC, they haven't really gotten their shit together, okay, this season. If it's me as the GM, what I'm thinking right now is Acosta goes into the starting rotation, okay? And here's how I feel about it. I go Andy Pettit. I go, okay, there you go. And I pitch the first inning. Okay, so yeah, okay, I can do that for you. So we get to see him pitch. There you go. Beautiful. That'll be huge because we've been waiting for that since we got him. So I think we go Pettit, Vasquez, Wakefield, who's had a good look at the records. And actually, I'm going to bump Wakefield up since he's 12-5. Pettit's 13-7. Okay. Now Vasquez has a great ERA, and he doesn't get a lot of run support, but we're not going to let that cloud our judgment here. Trey Moore, he's going to go to 5th. That's a very comfortable spot for him here on our channel. He's always been in that kind of 5th range. He's always been down around there, and you look at his career stats. When he pitches in the 5th spot, he's 16-4, he's 13-10, he's 15-8. So when we try to move him around, that's when he struggles. So we're going to keep him in that 5th position moving forward. CC Sabathia, well, based on the comments I have so far, we're going to take him out. Acosta will jump in there. Okay? So I think this is what we're going to go with. CC will be a long reliever. Alfonso Rivera, okay, is going to stay there. Now, his stamina is 21. Let's see if we got anybody else in here that can go long relief. Eric Gagne can actually go long relief. So we're going to go Eric Gagne to this spot. He'll go here. So we got 2 decent guys stamina-wise to go long relief. That gives us a lefty and a righty. Good options in those long relief spots. Ricardo Rincon, Scott Shields, Matt Manti, Ramon Marrero. Who is this? I don't even know who this guy is. But he's pitched pretty good for us. 23 appearances, 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 blown save. So we're going to leave him right there. No, we're not. Alfonso, oh yeah. So we'll go to the 2-man setup crew of Alfonso Rivera and Ramon Marrero. Billy Wagner will continue to be our closer. Now, if Billy gets injured, Alfonso Rivera, welcome to the closer spot. I'm not going to put Gagne there, so don't try to talk me into it. I'm going to go with that kid because he's been just sitting there in the minors waiting to be the full-time closer. And I could just see that. I can see it now. Here you are. You're sitting in the minors. You're sitting behind Trevor Hoffman for 2 seasons, waiting. And your GM goes out and he signs Billy Wagner. Tell me that's not just screwed up. And then you're just stuck down in the minors. So Alfonso Rivera, he's going to get a chance to get a close here at least once in tonight's episode. So now that we see that, let's go ahead and jump back to the calendar and see what we have. So we'll get to see Juan Acosta pitch his first major league game against Florida. So Wakefield, we get we'll fix that. And we'll fix that. So we get the 1-0 win. We have a 5-game lead on the Florida Marlins. Now the other thing we have to pay attention to is we want to see if our team is going to win a division, we have to pay attention. So we could jump into the game to actually see when they win a division, right? Which we haven't done in the past. Florida with Orlando El Duque Hernandez against Javi Vasquez. That's a loss. So these are very important games now. We have Florida for 3. We have Florida for 4. We have Atlanta. This is when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, right? This is the important part of the season. So we have a 4-game lead on Florida, and we have a 6.5-game lead currently on we have a 6.5-game lead currently on the Atlanta Braves. So we got to pay close attention here to what's going on. All right. Let's see if we can somehow get an idea as to when the elimination could happen. So I have my AGM, my JGM in the house. So if you can explain to me the whole E number thing, okay, and what that means. So I think if the Mets lose 6 more games, they're done, right? Is that how that goes? I'm not really sure. But we'll pay close attention to that as we roll through and see if our Expos can't win the division. We're trying to win the division here. So, okay. Florida in game 2. Jason Schmidt, Juan Acosta. I have been asked to pitch this one. So I'm correct, right? I'm correct. Okay, thank you. We're going to try to roll through this here in the next half hour. We're going to get to the end of the season. So if you're with me and you've been with me the whole time, thank you. I appreciate it. Who knows? I may even chop this up and make it faster for you, but it doesn't really matter. If you're watching live, we're trying to get our Expos NL East division crown. Okay, and we want to actually try to see them do it. Okay, so we want to see my junior GM has asked that I pitch the first inning. So I'll pitch the first inning with Juan Acosta in his major league debut. Juan Acosta for our Montreal Expos. Okay. Feel free to throw numbers up on the board. If I got a couple of viewers, the last number we threw out there was 17. Who had a 17? I got a good one. Probably more basketball related. Okay. I'm going to throw this one up there. Tell me every athlete. Oh, 00. Robert Parrish wore 00. That's a good one. Thank you. Yeah, see, you're listening. I appreciate it. Kilvio Veras, Derek Jeter, Vlad Guerrero, Man Ram, JT and Andrew, DeAndre Wolf, Hamilton Porter, and Juan Acosta. Tonight's game against the Marlins. Now, this is a heated division rivalry for the Expos. This is our main rival. Okay. And you get to see Juan Acosta make his major league debut. Look at that sick beard on Juan Acosta.
We were talking earlier about how he's doing a great job navigating through tough spots.
I've just been so impressed with when it seems like there's more pressure, he's more calm and settled.
Okay, Jody Brady coming to the plate. Ham Porter is back there. They want a fastball. Here we go. Fastball. Oh. Man Ram underneath it. Nice. Okay. So first pitch from Acosta in his first major league game, and it's a pop-up. All right, Luis Castillo coming to the plate, and this is a big game, right? This is Marlins, this is Expos, this is Division. This is popped up. Here goes Vladdy going toward the line. Go get it, Vladdy, go get it! Oh, he can't get it on the dive. Good effort. Okay. Going high with that fastball again. Acosta has got some heat. Boom, he strikes him out. Hamilton calls for the right pitch. And we love it. Okay. Here's Todd Rahab. We're going to go fastball. I'm going to bring it down low and see if we'll get him going after something.
Boog, I think they can. It's kind of like a hitter that doesn't have power.
Okay.
The thrill is still
little slider outside. 2-2 count. Hamilton calls for the slider. Here's the pitch. Got him. See ya. Juan Acosta in his first major league appearance.
0-0.
And he gets 2 Ks. Beauty. Okay, let's go here. We'll go to quick manage. And we'll quick manage through this. So Kilvio walks, Jeter singles, Vlad strikes out, Man Ram, ground out. JT, single. Andrew Jones with a chance to do something. Okay, let's go back to the hill. Juan Acosta.
Third baseman, Matt Williams.
Juan Acosta back out on the hill. Matt Williams.
And a foul ball.
That's a foul ball. So the crowd wants to see Juan Acosta pitch.
Gets a piece.
He goes upstairs. Okay, let's see what he's got in the arsenal. We're going to go change up. We're going to go downstairs. Let's see if we can't get him with a little changer.
Next off is down low.
Ooh, he misses. Okay, we're going to go back up and in with that fastball. Ooh, he popped it up.
You'll see another.
Okay, change it up one more time. Down low, change up.
Fouled off.
And he fouls it off.
He'll do it again.
Well,
Matt Williams.
Really looking for that swing and
Good
miss.
bite. We're going to go low and outside. See if we can't get him swinging at something. Got him. Oh, Juan Acosta. Getting the shit done.
Make it easy for him on the mound, but they still get the strikeout.
Greg Vaughn now.
Here's the left fielder,
Big Greg Vaughn, a 1-1 count.
That one fouled off.
Foul, and Vladdy's not even going to come close to that one.
One out, bases
Change up, down low, inside. Ham makes a good call. Let's see if it comes up, and he gets him. Okay. Liking it.
Is going to have to do something to try to break that rhythm. Maybe it's square around the bond, step
Look at that again. Oh, he just drops that change up down there. So he takes it, and he throws it 100 and something, and he just drops it down to about 83, right? Okay. Jermaine Dye. We're going to go up and into Jermaine.
Now here is Jermaine Dye.
There's a foul ball, 2-2. Let's see if we can't get another. So here's the thing. Look at this. So we actually jumped into this. Jermaine Dye is sitting on 999 career hits in this at-bat. So if he gets a hit here, it's his 1,000th hit. That's a pretty cool thing. That's a pretty. No, I got a pitch clock violation.
That's an automatic ball.
I wasn't paying attention. I forgot about that. Okay.
The pitch timer runs out. We're looking for a little more urgency out there.
That's a rookie move. That's a rookie move. All right. Here we go. One more. Let's see if we can't strike out Jermaine Dye. Got him. Dude, Juan Acosta is the shit. I'm glad we got him.
And welcome back to the ballpark.
Okay, let's go to the quick manage screen. And boom. Ham Porter strikes out. Juan Acosta. Shit, let's get his at bat too. Let's see if he's as good with the bat as he is with the glove, I don't know. With the arm? Oh, maybe not.
One ball.
See if he can go upstairs a little
So we
bit.
got him from the
Make sure he gets
Yankees,
up and out of the
right?
zone.
I believe that was a trade situation.
Don't miss in the zone.
Holy shit, that was fast.
Swing and a miss at the fastball to end.
And he gets it. You see that little move? Okay. All right, here we go. So we're going to go back. Oh, we're going to pitch again. We're going to pitch again.
It feels like
up high. So 3-1, Mike Redmond. So we got to give him something here. We don't want to walk him. And he swings right through it. He's just throwing gas at 97. Okay, Acosta now. Going to switch up the speed, and he fouls that one off.
Battling here as he fouls it away.
So I'm going to pitch until he gives up a hit. That's what I'm going to do here.
Outside.
Oh, and he walks him.
And that's their first base.
So there goes the perfect game. That's gone.
Now it's the shortstop.
But that's right. We got a no-hitter going. Oh, shit.
And a swing and a miss.
It goes faster. He gets a little nervous now.
Two strikes. Top of the third, no score.
We put a lot of faith in this kid. Okay, and the reason I say that is because this is a big series. This is the Miami Marlins or Florida Marlins in our world, and they're right there with us. They're hanging in there with us. They're right behind us, and there's that's not good. All right, let's see if we can't get a little something going over here first.
Pitches. They got him working hard out there.
JT says, take a little break. Take a breather, kid. Take a breather. So he does, and now he's going to go back to that pitch. Got him. Oh, he fouled it off.
8th pitch of the at-bat coming up.
All right, here comes the heater.
Gets a piece
Oh,
there.
no. Foul.
No, good solid contact right there. Just
There's a
to get
slider.
out in front of that fastball. Got to try to stay on that backside just a little bit longer.
Got him. Oh, 4 Ks.
It's a strikeout.
4 Ks.
Slider right there. He couldn't
Oh,
get
6
it
Ks.
to try to keep the
He's got
attack
6
alive.
Ks in the game. I didn't realize that.
Slider, when a guy's able to really
Big
tunnel a
pitch.
where it looks like a fastball.
All right, here we go.
Late, has
Juan
really good
Acosta,
height.
2-1
So
count to
tough
Jason
lay off
Schmidt.
of
He's a
because
pitcher.
made the decision
He
you don't
lays
want
one
to keep that
down.
fastball.
They put the tag
They just
on
tag him.
and
There
gets
you
the
go.
job done.
We'll let the runner move over to second. That's okay.
So the lineup flips over. And now
There's
the center
Jody
field,
Brady
Jody
again.
Brady. Swing and a miss. And a count 1-2.
Damn.
2 strikes.
Go downstairs. No. Oh, I thought he was going to hit that shit. Okay.
To 7 strikeouts.
7 Ks in his first career game.
No score.
And he's got a no-hitter through 3.
As we
And he's got a no-hitter through 3. We'll simulate that. We'll go back to the pitching. All right, here comes Castillo.
to the ballpark.
So here's what we're looking at for the postseason. I don't know why it shows 3 division leaders Orioles, but whatever. All right, here we go.
Well, after putting up a nice inning on offense, got some runs across, this is where you look for the starter to
All
go
right.
out there, have a shutdown inning. Don't
We just
give
gotta
that
go
other
at 'em.
team any hope. You just hope that he can get through this inning, get the
Oh,
guys back
shit.
up there while they're hot.
Oh, shit.
But it curls.
Too high. Too high.
Doing his very
Yeah, all right,
best
here we
out
go.
there on the mound to bring
Little
that
slider.
pitch
Bring it
to a
back
halt.
over the plate and make him look at it. No, he pops it up.
In the air to left.
Man Ram moving over slowly, under it. Got it.
Squeeze on
Okay.
that one. 1 up, 1 down.
Well, I think the key, I mean, if he can get through one more inning, anything after that,
Todd
a hitter or two is
Rahab.
bonus, but they should be lined up good enough to get to the finish line.
Oh, that's it. There's your base hit. Go get it, Vlad. Oh, Vladdy on the run makes the catch and keeps the no-hitter alive.
2 down, base is empty. And next will be the cleanup hitter, Matt Williams.
Matt Williams to try to bust up the no-hitter.
At 96, that
He goes to
pitch is in for
2-2. Acosta, does he have the energy? Yeah. Oh, not really. Not really. Well, we're going to let him go anyway. Here's a slider. Oh, and DeAndre Wolf with the grab. Well, we got like a little potpourri of players out there, don't we? We got some major injuries, okay? And we're still getting it done. Let's simulate the half inning. And back to the grind.
Back here at the ballpark. Let's check
Some
out
news
the
and notes. I
news
like
for
that.
around the
Marlins move within 4 games of the Expos. Reggie Sanders records his 1100th RBI, and the Reds got a win. So here we go. Acosta in his bounced that one in his 5th inning of work has yet to allow a hit.
I'm seeing very patient at bats out of him. Starter's leash has to be getting tighter with his pitch count where it is, but so far he's been really effective in this one.
And I'm sorry you asked for 1 inning, but it's like he's pitching good, and I kind of like him. All right, here you go. Outside slider, 2-2 count. He's walked 1, so that's been his. Oh, he gets him on the corner. Okay.
And now the right fielder.
Here comes Jermaine Dye.
Base is empty, 1 away. And we're at the top of the 5th.
And base hit number 1. And that's going to do it for us here watching him. But how about that start? That was a good start. Let's go ahead and exit out of this. We'll simulate, see if we can't get the win. And we get the 7-1 victory, and he gets his very first
with his first
major league win.
Done. I'm sure he'll feel very good about that and get the ball.
So I gotta give big props to the AGM for going out and saying, "Hey, let's bring him up for September and see what he can do," right? And he gets the shit done. He gets the shit done. We like it. All right, let's go ahead and get out of this. And we'll just kind of quick sim here through the month of September, get to the end, and we will discuss who we have in the playoffs or who's in the playoffs for the end of the episode. Sound like a plan? Okay, we're just going to go quickly through it. Let's go back to the standings, see what we have for Magic numbers. And 19 for the Marlins. So got to pay close attention to that as we go, right? Definitely. We're 80 and 59. We are 80 and 59. So we would need a complete collapse to not be 500. Trey Moore, and they beat Florida again. Okay, so I'm going to go here one more time. And their numbers dropped to 17. So we're getting closer. We're getting closer. All right. The Cubbies for 3. We get the loss. That's a win. That's a win. Okay. Florida for 4. That's a massive series right here. Juan Acosta, who starts out with his win against Florida, and he gets another one. Robert Ekstrom is eligible to be reinstated from the injured list, but will still be injured for a few days. No, I don't want him back. I'm going to just keep him on the disabled list. This team is playing well enough without him. We do not need to bring him in, and then he craps out at the end of the season. Okay, so let's just roll. We're going to roll with what we have. Florida, trying to win a second game against Florida, and we win. Juan Acosta, how about that? He goes to, he didn't get the win there, but Andy Pettitte now in Game 3 against Carlos Duarte, win. Tim Wakefield, Game 4, going for the sweep of the Marlins, win. So we sweep the Marlins. We now have a 9-game lead in the National League East. The standing, okay, so the Marlins have dropped all the way to 7. 7, okay? So we got to pay attention because we might actually get to see our team win the division. Pittsburgh for 3 games. That's a loss. Okay. Ekstrom is no longer injured and has come off the injured list. What would I like to do? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to place him on the bench. I'm going to go to the roster. We are now 1 man too heavy. And who do we have? Well, DeAndre is now cold, which is not good. And Robert, welcome back to the club. As much as I don't want to do it, somebody has to go down, though. So if you're watching live, share. Who do you think we send down? Who can we send down that really hasn't gotten a whole lot of play? Howie Baroa can go down. Trot Nixon could go down. Kareem, he's only had 13 at-bats. I'm going to send Kareem back down. I kind of have to. So we'll send him back down to Triple-A. That's going to free up Ekstrom to get back in the lineup. We'll keep him down in the low part of the lineup. If we start to tank with this guy, though, I swear to God, I'm going to lose it. Or if I see that screen pop up that says he's injured, I'm really going to lose it. Okay, so Pittsburgh now for 3 as we try to close this series out. I'm sorry, we have 2 more against Pittsburgh. There's a loss and a loss. So we get swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates. And we go to check our standings. So the Marlins, 5 games. I think 5 games till elimination. They lose 5 more games. So here's how we're going to do this, I think. We're going to go to the calendar. And I think we can see, okay, we can see all games. So we have, let's go down here. We're taking on the Braves. The Marlins do not play today. So we'll go ahead and simulate that game. We lose. All right. And we go to the next day. Let's see. The Marlins have the Rockies. We'll simulate that game. They lose again. And we lose. Not good, ladies and gentlemen. This is not good. This is not good at all. Go to the next game. We've got the Marlins. Who do the Marlins have? Should have the Rockies. We'll simulate that. And they lose again. So they're trying to give this away, and we keep losing. But we're also playing the damn Braves. We lose again. Uh-oh, the Braves must be jumping back into this thing. The Braves are now 6 games back. The Marlins are now 7.5 games back. And the Braves have jumped into this mess. So they're right in there here as we have made it to the 153 game mark. There's 9 games left in the season, and we are trying desperately to win our division. But it doesn't help when you lose 6 consecutive games since we put Robert Ekstrom back in the lineup. Right? Pay attention, Mike. Pay attention. Robert Ekstrom's back in the lineup, and we're playing horribly. Okay, so we now have the Mets, the lowly Mets. And we have a chance to finish this off. And I think it'll have to happen against the Atlanta Braves. It could happen against the Braves. So the Mets, 66 and 87 on the season. John Thompson on the hill. We get a win. Okay, Trey Moore against Herbert Matthews. That's a loss. Andy Pettitte against Al Leiter. That's a loss. Oh, no. So we did not make a playoff spot in the minors, and we have a 5-game lead on the Braves. We're now up 6 on the Marlins. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're probably not going to get to 100 wins. Oh, no, cancel that. We don't want to do that. We're not going to get to 100 wins because we only have 6 games left. And yes, I can do a little bit of math. It doesn't seem like I can, but I can. Atlanta for 3. The Chicago White Sox for 3. So we need a couple wins in here. What we need is at least 2 here against Atlanta, right? So we win game 1 of this series in Atlanta. Tim Wakefield, who has been getting shit done this year, gets us the win. Okay, so let's go back. I'm learning how this all works. The Braves are, how did we win? We won the division when I pressed that button, and I missed it. I missed this. Okay, that really sucks. But we won the division. Congratulations to the Expos for the 2nd year in a row on winning the National League East crown, and I missed it. I totally blew that. Okay, we get the loss, we get the win, and we'll finish up the season against the Chicago White Sox. This one is at home, and we get the win 9-2. We get the loss in the last game, Tim Wakefield versus Livan Hernandez. And that, oh no, Alan Embry pulled his groin. That's not a good thing. You probably don't want to do that, especially if people are watching. Awkward silence. Okay, we're going to go, we'll just see what happens with him. Congratulations, the Expos finished the season at 92 and 70. We'll be taking on the winner of the wild card playoff game. The regular season has come to an end. So, ladies and gentlemen, we made it. Okay. 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, and 2003. 6 complete seasons in the books. And here we are, the 2nd year in a row. The Montreal Expos hold down the number 1 seed heading into the National League playoffs. Okay. Let's take a look at the current bracket. All right. And we'll talk about some of the matchups. We've got in the American League, the New York Yankees have snuck in under the wire, okay? They're going to be taking on the Kansas City Royals in the American League wild card. That's a 3-game series. Then the Milwaukee Brewers, who just absolutely dominated for most of the season, finished with the 3rd seed coming out of the West. They're going to face the Chicago White Sox. That's going to be a good series to check out as we follow the playoffs. Boston is your number 2 seed. They are waiting for the winner of Milwaukee and Chicago. Then Cleveland is your 1 seed. They'll be waiting for Kansas City or New York. So the Yankees are trying to become relevant again here on the channel. Out in the National League, okay, your 6th-seeded Florida Marlins, who always have to somehow sneak into the playoffs, will be taking on the number 3 seed St. Louis Cardinals, and the winner of that series will take on the 2 seed San Francisco Giants. Then we have the San Diego Padres and the Atlanta Braves. So woohoo for the San Diego Padres of 2003. They will be taking on the Atlanta Braves, who are the 4 seed. The winner of that series gets the number 1 seed Montreal Expos, who managed to only take down 92 wins on the season. So it wasn't a great year for us, but it was enough to get us to the National League playoffs. So taking a look at the final records before we head out, then we'll take a look at the final awards, and then boom, we'll shut it down for the night. We've been going for almost 2.5 hours. So if you've been sitting here for 2.5 hours, a big round of applause to you for doing that, okay? National League East, that title goes to the Montreal Expos. Our Expos outscored their opponents 710 to 625. So great job. We were better at home. Actually, we were 46-35 at home, 46-35 on the road. We're a way better night team than we are a day team. Okay. The Central was won by the St. Louis Cardinals, who surpassed the Cubs. And the Chicago Cubs held the freaking first place lead all season. And at one point, they had won like 20 games and lost 4. They end up losing the division to the Cardinals. Out west, the Giants and the Padres get themselves into the playoffs. They actually finished in a tie. They finished in a tie, 87-75. So that's going to be interesting to see who goes further. I mean, obviously the Giants got the 2 seed, but the Padres snuck into the playoffs. So congrats. The National League is stacked. It's a very good league. Wild card Braves, Padres, and Marlins. So out in the American League East, the Red Sox go 94-68 to take the division. The Yankees get a wild card spot at 90-72. The American League Central, we have 2 wild cards out of the Central. The Indians took the division 95-67. 7 and 8 games back with the Royals and the White Sox, but it was good enough for them to get a wild card spot. The Brew Crew finishes with just 87 wins on the season, but it was good enough to pass the Mariners, Rangers, A's, and Angels by a shit ton. So congratulations to the Brew Crew on a 2003 National League West Division crown. And the Yankees, Royals, and White Sox, as mentioned, are your wild cards. So your awards on the season look a little bit like this. So Chipper Jones will take home the National League Most Valuable Player Award with a 326 average, 30 home runs, and 110 RBIs. Congrats to Chipper. The American League Most Valuable Player Award goes to Mike Mussina. Mike Mussina, former Expo pitcher, goes 22-4 to lead the Boston Red Sox pitching staff with a 2.65 ERA and 173 strikeouts. And don't we feel dumb? We said he was done. Didn't re-sign him, and he goes to Boston and wins Most Valuable Player. That's crazy. The Cy Young in the National League goes to Matt Morris with his 15-8 record, and he just edges, beats out Andy Pettit and Chris Carpenter for that award. The American League goes to Mike Mussina because of course it does. He wins the Cy Young and the Most Valuable Player. Congrats to him on that. Passing Pedro Martinez, who won it the last 2 years. The batting title goes to Edgar Martinez in the National League, David Justice in the American League. 2 guys we tried to get for our Expos team. Reliever of the year, Trevor Hoffman. You know what? Former Expos, man. Mussina wins the Most Valuable Player and the Cy Young. Trevor Hoffman is your reliever of the year. He had 47 saves and looked way better than he did for us. So congrats to Trevor Hoffman. Rob Nen, who we also had. We had Rob Nen, right? Didn't we have Rob Nen? We did not. Okay, so Nen wins for the Red Sox. Rookie of the Year, Raul Nunez of the Padres with 22 dingas and 66 ribbies. And in the American League, it was Danny Kane of the Angels. Hank Aaron Award, Chipper Jones, National League. David Justice, American League. Gold Gloves for pitchers, Brad Radke of the Houston Astros. American League, Tyson Daniel of the New York Yankees. Catcher, Darren Fletcher and Kevin Brown. First base, Carlos Arellano and Marvin Petta. Second base, Todd Walker of the Padres. Brett Boone of the Milwaukee Brewers. Third base, Abraham Benitez of the Braves. Fernando Tatis of the Tampa Bay Rays. Shortstop, Alex Gonzalez of the Philadelphia Phillies in the National League. So Derek Jeter, who took it last year, he finishes third in the voting this year. And Davey Cruz of the Tigers out in the American League. Left field, Darren Erstad of the Giants. And Troy O'Leary, who wins another former Expo. So you know what? They come here, they play well, or they play shitty, and they go somewhere else and they play great. Good for them. He wins the American League left field Gold Glove. Center field for the National League, Jose Cruz Jr. and Tony Womack of the Cleveland Indians. And right field goes to Mark Kotsay and, of course, Gary Sheffield of the Royals. Looking at our Silver Sluggers, nobody of note for us except for Derek Jeter at shortstop, 20 homers and 78 RBIs. Numbers significantly down for DJ this year, but he wins his second straight Silver Slugger. Vlad Guerrero wins his second straight Silver Slugger, and that's it for your awards. So this is what we have to look forward to next week on the show. If you were with me for 2 hours and 25 minutes, of course, thanks for being here. Always a lot of fun. Got a lot on my plate in the next couple of weeks, so I'm going to do my best to jump in here next Thursday night, probably around the same time. So just look for that little notification that the Fanatic is on and playing. If you just jumped in, you missed the whole show. Go back, fast forward through things. I don't care. You know, you can actually look up the important parts of the show. It'll show you. And we had a couple of nice little pieces. We had kind of ups and downs at numero uno seed here in the National League. We got to see Juan Acosta. Juan Acosta came up and did what he had to. Let's take a look at those stats, actually, before we shut this all down. Kind of nice to see how our team finished, right? So team leaders, games played was Vladdy Guerrero. At-bats was Vlad Guerrero. Runs scored was Vlad Guerrero. Hits, Vlad Guerrero. Home runs, you guessed it, Vlad Guerrero. Andrew Jones did kind of come alive toward the end of the season. 29 dingers. Man Ram, he had a solid year. 27 home runs, 87 RBIs, 264. I think really, really showing us that he wants to be here in Montreal. And that outfield, with the exception of Andrew Jones, had a good season offensively. Okay? I think they had a good season offensively. You share what you think. I don't know. But pitching, where was I? Home runs, RBIs, of course, Vlad Guerrero. Stolen bases goes to Robert Ekstrom, who played in 101 games and got us 31 stolen bases. Batting average winner, Robert Ekstrom, but I'd say more Kilvio, mainly because of the games played. On base percentage, Ike Diggs, no, Robert Ekstrom, right? Or Kilvio. Slugging, Vlad Guerrero, Derek Jeter and OPS. Walks, Manny Ramirez. Ks, Manny Ramirez. Doubles, Kilvio Veras. Triples, Derek Jeter. So pitching staff, just 14 wins. Pettit and Wakefield got 14 wins each. Losses goes to Javi Vasquez, who had 12 losses. That's not a good season for him. Saves 44 for Billy Wagner, and he's not even in the discussion. Not even in the discussion for reliever of the year. I think that's bullshit. Innings pitched, Andy Pettit. Walks, Tim Wakefield with 64. Strikeouts, Javi Vasquez with 201. Best ERA, Scott Strickland, okay. Winning percentage, games started. So that's kind of a look at our stats, and we'll talk more about that at the end of the playoffs. So, all right, that's going to do it for tonight. We have made our way to our second straight number 1 seed. We're going to try to advance to the World Series and hopefully a World Series championship in our next episode. Feel free to comment. I want likes, subscribes. We're currently at 88 subscribers. I'd love to get to 100. I would love to get to 100. 40 was a goal. 60 was a goal. 80 was a goal. We finally got over 80 and loving every minute of that, trying to get to 100 subscribers for the channel. If you are a regular viewer, share your comments down below. Once again, subscribe. We're right here at the end of the video. I'll be hopefully here next week. And of course, as I always say every week, very important moving into our next couple of days, next couple of weeks. Take good care of yourself. Make sure you're taking care of the people around you. Try to do a nice thing every day if you can. And we'll see you next time right here inside the cave.